Today, we are diving into one of the most powerful scriptures in Hinduism, the Durga Saptashati. Now, on the surface, it's a thrilling story, full of epic battles and divine beings. But what if the real battlefield isn't some mythical, faraway realm, but a place a lot closer to home?
What if this ancient text is actually a sophisticated psychological guide? A kind of roadmap for fighting the demons that live inside our own heads, our ego, our endless desires, our fears. Let's really dig into that idea.
All right, first things first. Before we can unpack all the deep psychological stuff, we need to get a handle on what the Durga Saptashati actually is, where it came from, and why it's such a big deal. So, the Durga Saptashati, and you might have heard it called the Devi Mahatmya, which means the glory of the goddess, or even the Chandipath, is a really foundational text. Its whole focus is celebrating the divine feminine, this ultimate protective energy in the universe, all embodied in the form of the goddess Durga.
And the name itself, Saptashati, kind of gives you a big clue. Sapta means 7, and Shata means 100. So, yep, that's 700. It refers to the 700 verses that make up this whole epic. They're neatly organized into 13 chapters inside a much bigger work called the Markandeya Purana.
Now, this epic isn't just one long, rambling story. No, it's brilliantly put together in 3 totally distinct parts, and each part shines a spotlight on a different form of the goddess and a different massive cosmic battle.
The first section kicks things off with Mahakali. She represents this raw, primal energy, the power of action. Now, in Hindu philosophy, this is sometimes linked to the quality of tamas, which can sound a little like darkness or inertia. But a better way to think of it here is as this incredibly powerful, disruptive force you need to just clear out the old junk and make space for something new.
Then we get to the middle part, which is probably the most famous section of all. It's centered on Mahalalakshmi, who shows up as Durga. She is all about sustenance, about order and well-being. She doesn't just act, she preserves the balance of the entire cosmos, which perfectly sets the stage for the epic's most legendary story. Okay, but this is where it gets really interesting. The final part, it's all about Mahasaraswati, the power of pure wisdom and consciousness. And get this, it's the longest section of the entire text, taking up 9 whole chapters. The structure itself is basically screaming at us that, yeah, action is important and keeping things in order is vital, but the ultimate goal, the thing that requires the most work, is wisdom.
So, to really get a feel for the power of this epic, let's zoom in on its most iconic story, the battle against the demon Mahishasur, which comes right from that central section we were just talking about.
So, the situation is dire. This incredibly powerful demon king, Mahishasur, couldn't be beaten by any single god. He's taken over the heavens and total chaos is breaking out. So, in their desperation, all the gods, including the big 3, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, they literally pool all their divine energies together. And from this blinding, brilliant light, a brand new power emerges, the goddess Durga, armed with the mightiest weapon from every single god. She is literally their combined power in one form. And what comes next is just this ferocious, world-changing battle. Durga, riding her magnificent lion, takes on the shape-shifting Mahishasur. He keeps changing his form, trying to trick her, but there's no escape. In the end, she defeats him and brings peace and order back to the universe. A classic story of good over evil, right? Well, that's not the whole story. Not even close.
And this is the moment the Saptashati transforms from an ancient myth into a practical manual for your life, right here, right now. Because those demons, they aren't just out there, they're in here.
Check this out. Every major demon in the text is actually a powerful symbol for a psychological struggle that we all deal with. Madhu and Kaitaba, they represent the twin anxieties of too much and too little. The big bad guy, Mahishasur, he's the ultimate metaphor for our own raging, out-of-control ego. Shumba and Nishumba are pride and shame. And Raktabija, Raktabija is the perfect picture of our own unending, multiplying desires.
This right here shows the psychological genius of the text. So, the demon Raktabija has this insane power. Every single time a drop of his blood hits the ground, a perfect clone of himself pops up. Now just think about that for a second. Isn't that exactly how desire works? You satisfy one craving, and suddenly 2 more spring up in its place. It's a battle you can't win. So how do you beat him? Well, the goddess Kali comes out, spreads her enormous tongue over the entire battlefield, and drinks every single drop of blood before it has a chance to land. The symbolism is just profound. It's saying that only pure, expansive consciousness can actually consume our desires before they get a chance to multiply out of control.
So you see, this isn't just some ancient philosophy to think about. For millions of people, reading and chanting the Saptashati is a living practice with real, tangible benefits for getting through the challenges of life today. Devotees truly believe that working with this text creates a kind of spiritual shield. It's said to inspire incredible courage and inner strength, to help you finally overcome those deep-seated fears and obstacles, to just clear out the negativity from your life, and ultimately to bless you with happiness and prosperity. It's basically a tool for fortifying yourself from the inside out.
There's a great quote that I think sums it up perfectly. "The stories of her valor remind us to overcome our fears and fight our battles bravely. And it doesn't matter if those battles are out in the world or right inside your own head. The text is meant to be a source of incredible strength."
So in the end, the Saptashati isn't just a story to be read, it's a mirror to be looked into. It gives us a language and a framework to really identify the ego, the non-stop desires, the pride and the shame that we all struggle with. It hands us a roadmap to victory. The only question left is, which battle are you going to choose to fight first?